Hello! It's Monday night. We're here talking shit, making shit.
We are. We doing some flamey boys today.
Yes! Continuing the second part of what is kind of just being a series with us, we are ranking the fire-type starter Pokemon. We did grass last week, we'll be doing water next week, and after that, fuck knows. You think we're professionals? You think we come up with an idea with ideas more than half an hour beforehand? Pshaw, I say! Pshaw!
Yeah.
Indeed.
Oh well.
Fuck it. So yes, hello everybody. Hello.
It's nice to be here.
Nice to be here. Nice to enjoy people. Let's give it a minute for people to come in. That was very Stewie Griffin.
Yeah, I was gonna say we're getting into creepy paedophile territory, Jay. Come on, let's rein that back.
Creepy paedophile. He was a baby.
Yeah, and let's face it, that baby was a creepy paedophile.
No.
Yes.
The baby was only fucking people who was older than him. In fact, he was endorsing the pedophiles. He just wasn't one.
It's a reverse paedophile. Oh no!
Exactly.
There were several episodes, I'm sure, where Stewie Griffin hit on kids his own age, but I'm also like, no, let's not go into this territory.
Well, yeah, because it would involve watching Family Guy.
Yeah.
And frankly, I would rather just pour cold custard into my ear until it ran down my face.
That's a bit extreme. It's not that terrible. It's just noise, though. As a show, it is just noise.
Yeah, but if I wanted to have something like that was in the background but also good, honestly, I'd have Star Trek on the other monitor.
Well, yeah, but you like Star Trek.
I do now. Like, that's how I've only actually seen one series of Star Trek, and it was that was how I watched it. That was how I watched Next Generation.
I was going to say, this is the contentious bit, guys, right? Okay, which Star Trek have you watched? Next Generation. Alright, so Star Trek fans, feel free to lampoon us in the comments. And in the chat.
I don't think you could find a single Star Trek fan who would not at least admit...
New films only! Phoebe, you are
Hi, Phoebe.
brave!
You're wrong.
You are fucking brave.
And you're wrong.
I know, Chris Pine's cute.
Yeah, Chris Pine's cute, I'll give you that, but...
Phoebe chooses chaos.
You always choose... You are chaos! Ugh. Anyway, on the subject of starting a flame war, let's discuss little things about the fire type. Because we're here to talk about Pokemon, not necessarily Star Trek. I'm going to watch Deep Space Nine, and you can't fucking stop me.
Although I am also reminded of the time my friend Sam ran a Star Trek. Arson. You can arson again, but...
We do not...
You know what? Yes, no restrictions. Arson as much as you want, Phoebe. Gosh darn it.
I was about to do like the jump in waiver bit of the Brothers Honey do not endorse arson, but I'm pretty sure I've endorsed arson a lot on these streams already.
I think we can't walk back the arson endorsements.
Can't walk back the arson, because why would we? Because that's where the fire is, because you're walking away from it. Don't walk backwards into fire. I can fully endorse not moonwalking into the flames. Your Michael Jackson style will not protect you.
You are allowed to walk coolly away from explosions, not looking over your shoulder. That we're fine with, but don't walk backwards instead into the fire, because that doesn't make you look cool. It just makes you look like a tit.
Just makes you crispy. You will not be able to walk out of the flames. Walking away from an explosion, putting on sunglasses is not required, but it is recommended.
And I will say that, as someone who can moonwalk, I will moonwalk away from the flames. You can't stop me.
But Chris,
yep.
Cool guys don't look at explosions. But also...
Oh shit, no! Then I wouldn't be cool because I've been looking at the explosion.
But also, only cool guys can moonwalk. Chris, you'll create a coolness paradox.
Locks. Fuck words. Shit!
We do endorse arson, but we do not endorse destroying the universe through paradoxes.
My favourite will always be the Astley paradox.
We do enjoy Astley's paradox. Yes.
Astley's paradox.
Astley's paradox is great.
For anyone on the internet who is not aware, Astley's paradox is that should you ever give Rick Astley So should you ever ask Rick Astley for a birthday present, and you ask him for a DVD of the Disney film Up, then Rick Astley's never going to give you up, but he also never going to let you down.
Thus is Astley's paradox.
Yep.
I fucking love that.
It's a beautiful thing.
Apart from the fact that like everything I've heard about Rick Astley as a person just kind of makes it sound like he's just a cool dude and fully embraces all the memes.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
He just generally seems to be a very nice dude. And he also has an active YouTube channel, by the way.
Oh, I didn't know that.
He's still, yeah.
I knew he still made music, but
yeah, he did a whole bunch of covers on YouTube through the pandemic.
Okay,
that was like, yeah.
That I would like to watch, because say what you like about, the memes
song.
And he will also say Rickrolling people is actually one of my favorite internet pranks, because I think it perfectly fits the structure of what a prank should be.
Yeah, it's not harmful.
It's entirely non-harmful. There's an element of surprise.
Yep.
And everyone's laughing at the end.
Yeah.
That's kind of the elements of a perfect prank, because the internet... I'm just going to go off on one now. Because internet pranks are a thing. Everyone's looked at those shitty YouTube channels where it's like, what's the prank? I'm going to run up and fucking cut people's headphone cables.
Yeah, so that's not a prank.
That's
mate.
Not a prank. That's just you being a cunt.
Yeah, it's property damage.
That's property damage. And admittedly, like, if I no longer use wired headphones because they kept getting caught on shit, but if I'd been sitting there listening to fucking podcast and somebody had run up and cut the cable on my headphones, I'm pretty sure that very few people would have judged me for beating that person with an inch of their life.
I mean, yeah, I think very few people, in fact, would have judged you.
Yeah. Speaking of beating things with an inch of their life, once again, as is tradition, I will attempt to segue back for a third time. Kissing prank videos.
Is this like the...
Is this gay chicken?
No, I think... Is this anything like... I remember for ages there was like, I kissed my mum prank?
No, that's not a prank. That's incest.
Yeah, I know. That was kind of what everybody's response to that should have been. But there was like a whole bunch of these channels with like dudes like, I don't know, kissing people and then putting prank question mark at the end of it. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
That does range from incest to assault.
It does.
Or both.
Yes. Oh, hang on.
Oh, that's...
It's usually...
That's worse.
Oh,
that's worse, and also, I'm curious, and I really don't want to know.
Yeah, that's.
Oh, that's.
I hate people.
Speaking for all men, because as clearly we are the representative of all men.
Of course.
What the fuck?
Yeah, what the fuck, man?
On behalf of all men to all men, what the fuck, yo?
Yeah, Jesus fuck, guys.
What the fuck? Just fucking stop for like 5 minutes, take a shower, and have a conversation with someone of any fucking gender that isn't your own.
Yeah. Or even better, talk to a fucking therapist.
And talk to a therapist.
Oh my god. Yeah,
and
that sucks.
Just fucking stop and count to 10 before you do anything.
My problem is that the ones who do this for like internet fame probably have thought about it because they're like, oh yeah, this will get me clicks. And it's
that's the thing. That's that is people who are selling out their gender for views. I'd like to say that men are better than that, but unfortunately I've met men.
Yeah, men suck. No, yeah. Phoebe, we're sorry. No, don't worry about it.
I'm like this close to a rant.
Yeah, Jay's
this
just
is not
getting
sadness.
angry.
This is gender rage.
Exactly. Talking about how dudes need to take a cold shower. But you know who wouldn't survive a cold shower?
You know who wouldn't survive a cold shower? Me, because I fucking hate them and I like warm water. So anyway, back to casual misandry.
Thank you. I thought that was an excellent segue.
You segue back on the road, but what's this? I put a landmine in your path.
No. Jonathan? What's the protocol when stepping on a landmine?
You must jump several hundred feet into the air and scatter yourself over a wide area.
Exactly. 10 points.
So long since I've actually watched Blackadder, but it's just burned into my fucking mind. I
knew it would be.
Yeah.
I love it. So good.
Oh,
right.
It's a little bit of whiplash because I spent a large portion of Saturday swapping Red Dwarf quotes with people.
Of course.
And man, that goes some weird places, but it's brilliant. Did your glasses just make an escape attempt again?
Here we go.
They've only got one arm.
Yes, I know, right? Everybody can see how poor I am with my shitty glasses. To be fair, they're not like they're blue light glasses, so it's just for screens.
Yeah.
My eyes are super tired today, so I thought, right, let's be kind to them.
To be fair, you wear them on basically every stream.
Oh, I do, don't I?
Yeah, you do.
Oh, that's smart of me. I'm so clever.
Because it means that you're staring at a screen for 2 hours straight, and, you know, we stream in the evenings.
We do.
You've done a day.
I did do a day today.
You did done do a day.
I did done do a day today.
I treat
myself by not beating my eyes to death.
Exactly.
Right! Pokemon!
Speaking of beating to death, let's do something, cause...
Fucking 16 minutes in, come on!
Fuck! Yeah, let's haul this burning wreck back on track.
Speaking of burning!
Yeah, speaking of burning, we are gonna go to the one of the two Pokemon that every motherfucker knows. We have, first of all, there's always Pikachu, which is, series mascot, little electric mouse, adorable design, plotting to take over the world, fucking dead behind the eyes, we know. We have the other one, which is Charizard! The OG dragon that isn't a fucking dragon.
Yay!
This is Charizard, and boy howdy do we have some thoughts on Charizard.
We're so proud of you, Phoebe, for knowing that one.
See?
You've done very well.
Everybody knows it. This is not a dragon.
No, it's not a dragon.
This is a salamander who learned to hang glide.
I mean, yes. And in fairness, because I personally, and I know that you share some of this, Jay, I personally have a degree of bitterness towards Charizard.
Yeah,
because of the number of Charizard simps there are in the world. I remember once I had a brief period in my life, a misguided period, shall we say, where I had an account on some of the unofficial Pokemon forums. And they had a number of polls. And Charizard was apparently the top most favoritist of all the Pokemon in the whole world. And I thought that is exclusively the domain of men who've never had sex.
I was gonna say we can't judge the polls for that one, but what do the Belarusians think?
I mean, Jonathan, don't. The Poles and the Belarusians are about to go to war.
Exactly, we're getting opinions from each end of the spectrum.
Fuck.
One who are right and the other who are an autocracy. Let's go.
But yeah, it's the...
Fuck you, Lukashenko. If you're watching this, fucking president of Belarus, fuck you.
I love how you, got me in trouble because one of our videos got fucking banned in...
I didn't get you in trouble! YouTube got you in trouble!
YouTube just banned me in Russia.
Yeah, YouTube...
And now you're gonna get us banned in fucking Belarus.
Belarus is much smaller, I don't give a fuck. Yeah, fun fact, Chris's first solo stream, because, he didn't have any of the... Because all the music that we used for the background of the stream, which if you listen to now...
Lovely.
Very pleasant. it's all stored on my computer. So when he was having to do his solo stream from his computer, he didn't have any of that. So we went looking for some royalty-free music. And we looked up what, would have come out of copyright. So you chose some really nice... Was it Prokofiev?
It was Tchaikovsky.
Tchaikovsky.
It was, yeah. I put Tchaikovsky on. It was specifically...
It was a ballet number.
It was Cinderella, I think.
Yeah. It's
delightful.
Tchaikovsky's been dead long enough, it's fine.
Yeah, exactly. He's long out of copyright.
When I took that recording and then put it up onto YouTube, I get an email from YouTube saying, "Hey motherfucker, you used copyrighted music. The entire nation of Russia has said no, and your stream is not being broadcast there." We didn't get a copyright strike or nothing. It was just, apparently, Russians get really pissy if other people use Tchaikovsky.
I'm guessing Russian copyright law is different from the rest of the planet, which is entirely possible. So, no Tchaikovsky in Russia.
No Tchaikovsky in Russia, apparently.
Yep. But we're getting off topic. We're
getting off topic, as we so do. We're going to talk about Charizard, the basic bitch's dragon. And I think you are right. When you had those polls that say, "Oh, Charizard is the best Pokemon ever." Yes, that is exclusively the domain of people who have never actually touched another person.
Yeah, another human being, full stop. Never held hands.
I don't know, I would maybe extend that to people who haven't even, had a pet.
There is something that says, we love Charizard, Charizard is the best, and it very much feels like, because Charizard was the edgy one in the anime, because Charizard was the big dragon because boys love dragons. I mean, anyone can love dragons, but I'm specifically talking about... Yeah, I'm specifically ragging on men at the moment.
We're being very anti-men in this program. Did either of us go and see Barbie recently?
He does look distinguished, in fairness. I would like to see Barbie. I haven't gotten around to it.
Neither have I. I'm slightly sad because the Barbie movie helped reveal a YouTuber that I kind of slightly liked, helped reveal to me that he's a fucking shithead, and I'm very sad. It's just that you see a thing from somebody and you're like, oh no, you suck.
Yeah, it's sad when that happens.
Yeah, so for anyone curious, it was Shadiversity. I'm sorry you suck. I just dude who talks about cool things with medieval swords and that kind of stuff. And, talks about that lot of stuff. A lot of very educational shit. Yeah, it turns out he's a radical Christian conservative.
Oh, dear. I mean, my wife and I do definitely want to go and see it. And I would gladly go and see it with anybody.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. Is I would go with the women I am closest to. Problem is, all of them lead very full and very fucking busy lives.
Yeah, that's fair.
He makes Genghis Khan look like a Care Bear? You mean Charizard?
We talk about Charizard, we talk about radical Christians again. Come on, Diamond.
What
are you doing?
Well, you impressed
Gang did seeing Barbie on the 4th. Good! It will be great, and you will
radical
love
Christians,
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, radical Christians suck.
Yeah, they suck. Again, I looked at the Barbie trailer and was like, this looks like it's gonna dip at least 1 foot into psychological horror, and honestly, I'm fucking here for that.
I mean, the 2001: A Space Odyssey pastiche they did was fucking brilliant.
I missed that.
That was the first trailer that came out. That was the teaser trailer.
Oh, I might have then just missed the reference.
Oh, stunning! It was great. You want to know something? Sorry.
Okay, this is the last bit, and then we're gonna rag on this dragon some more.
Things that dip into horror in a fucking wild way. Cocaine Bear.
Okay, let's talk about Cocaine Bear.
Yeah, that's a film that I have now seen.
I have not seen it, and I really want to.
I was not prepared. I just was not prepared, and I don't feel safe or fit to make a judgment on whether it's good or not.
Do you know what the best thing about Cocaine Bear is?
What?
Based on a true story.
loosely based.
Loosely based on a true story. So I'm getting the feeling that they took this and they went full Jaws with it.
So I went and looked it up. The original story is that, yes, a black bear got into a bag of several, like dozen kilos of cocaine.
Well, I don't think it was several dozen kilos. I think it was like a couple of kilos of cocaine. Which, by the way, couple of kilos of cocaine, enough to kill a room full of people.
No, Jay, it was a duffel bag.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, no, it was
I know it ate a brick of cocaine. I didn't realize it was more than that.
Yeah, no, it was several dozen bricks of cocaine this bear ate, and massively OD'd. And that's basically how we know about any of this story. Is some park rangers found a dead bear in an empty duffel bag, fucking slathered in cocaine.
Cocaine Ewok.
I mean, that would have been
honestly, man, I would watch a recreation of Star Wars Episode 6 that was entirely told from the Ewoks' perspective. They'd just be like, we're gonna go and fucking get some Stormtrooper blood! We go! We ride at dawn! Just Ewoks talking about fucking Dothraki.
The university you were currently founded was because people got into too much cocaine?
Yes, that's actually very true. I don't want to say what university it is because this is the internet. And don't want to actually dog people.
That.
But yes, it's very true.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Okay.
Anyway.
You know what? Okay. Yes,
let's talk about this shit dragon.
Charizard has nothing to do with cocaine.
Charizard is basically the Pokemon that whenever Pokemon comes up with a new gimmick, they slap it on Charizard right then and there.
Yeah.
Charizard is also we touched very briefly last time on the concept of starter, where one of the starter Pokemon is very clearly the developer's favorite, and Charizard is it. Charizard is the poster child for that.
I would like to disagree.
Okay.
I think Charizard is the poster child for it in every game except for its own.
That's true, because Charizard is logically the worst choice in Red and Blue.
So, in Pokemon Red and Blue, they had a very
sneaky,
rudimentary sort of difficulty system.
I thought it was really sneaky.
It is sneaky, but it's rudimentary in that it only affects the first 2 gyms. So it's very much, it's just to help you in terms of getting on your way and getting started.
Well,
to learn the mechanics.
By the time you hit the 3rd gym, you've got the number of and variety of Pokemon you can catch has widely varied, because you've gone through a good chunk of the map by the time you get to Surge.
Also, by the time you get to Surge, literally you go into Vermilion and you go into Diglett Cave, you catch a Diglett or a Dugtrio, and then you kill his whole party.
Yes.
It's like there's always places to catch the Pokemon that will do the thing you need to do.
Yeah.
However, your starters in Gen 1, Bulbasaur, your grass one, beats the first 2 gyms handily on its own.
Yep, because they're rock and water.
Just beats the first gym, and then you're on your own for the 2nd gym. Charmander is weak to both the 1st and 2nd gyms and will help you not a jot.
Yep. Except in the remakes.
Except in the remakes.
Except in the remakes where it learns fucking Metal Claw.
Which is fine. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
it's also just like, whoop, bye-bye.
Yeah, so Charizard was the quote-unquote hard mode of the original Pokemon games.
Yeah.
Which is probably one of the other reasons why it has a horrible fan base.
Because people are like, yeah, I'm tough for choosing Charizard. Yeah, I chose the big dragon. And where I'm just like, I will hit you with a tree.
Yeah. Tree Frog is better.
There is Tree Frog and literal Artillery Turtle.
Fucking love my Artillery Turtle, Blastoise forever.
Yeah, we will always love the Artillery Turtle, because what would happen if you gave the Ninja Turtles the Second Amendment?
Death.
Alright?
But yeah, so it's... And I think, in fairness to Charizard, we should be moderate and reasonable to Charizard, which is, it's not a bad Pokemon.
No. Charizard is by basically every metric except... Put it like this. Charizard is the Portal of Pokemon. It's really good. It's really well designed. It's really well put together. but it has the most annoying fans on the fucking planet.
It does. It does.
Like,
Yeah, that was
Charizard is genuinely,
Diamond has
actually...
just brought up there was a crossover between Power Rangers, and it was Power Rangers in space and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And that is a real crossover that happened. And it's very strange, and it's the reason I stopped watching, like, because I had made the foolish decision of trying to, like, watch all of Power Rangers in space in order, because the finale is phenomenal.
As far as because I remember very little of Power Rangers in space from my childhood, but I remember it goes off the fucking rails.
I mean, it starts off the fucking rails.
Yeah. But also...
Hence the crossover with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Of
and it's
all
bad.
all the Power Rangers to cross over with, it had to be the one where they're logically never going to be in New York fucking City.
Yeah, well, that was the one time they went to New York City.
Yeah. Also, I have a fun comic fact about the Ninja Turtles that is
right. Last thing, and then we're back.
Last thing, and then we'll do Charizard because we're like half an hour in. Weird fun fact about the Ninja Turtles. Did you know that the radioactive ooze that like makes them from regular turtles into like Teenage Mutant Turtles? The ninja comes later. That's all nurture, not nature. It's the same ooze that blinds Matt Murdock, aka Daredevil. That is a real thing. The exact same ooze that created the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles blinded an extremely Catholic, hyper-violent child and gave him super senses. That is a real thing, I swear to you, on any god you care to name. That is a real thing. Go look it up after the stream. Anyway, let's talk about Charizard. It is powerful, it has a good move pool, it's got not a great typing, to be honest with you.
No, Fire and Flying is, generally speaking, it's not a brilliant typing.
Yeah.
It's a rare typing.
It's a rare typing, because it's Charizard, it's Talonflame, it's Moltres, and there's not a lot else, to be honest.
I think that is actually it at this point in time. But otherwise, it's got pretty reasonable stats. It's generally, it's okay.
Yeah.
But first of all, can I start with my absolute favorite Charizard fact?
Hit me.
Charizard, the average Charizard, it has a height of 5 foot and 7 inches.
Charizard is shorter than I am.
Yep. And that will never not make me happy.
Yeah. Also, like, I will say, while Charizard has kind of a generic design, it has a very sleek design. Like, I really like...
It's a classic design.
It's a very classic design, and like, because you've got the wings, you've got the tail flame to really like bring the whole thing together. But like, it's nice.
Yeah, it's got little T-Rex arms, so the wings are kind of more prominent. Big chunky legs. Yeah, it's generally speaking, he's a solid round boy, and he's grand.
Yeah. So with that in mind. I don't think I can reasonably put Charizard, just because of the sheer annoyance I feel for Charizard. I'm not sure I can put it above B tier.
I mean, I don't think it is above B tier. Well, no, it might be. It's like, let's look at this. Let's look at this in fairness, all right?
Objectivity engaged.
Objectivity, come on. So, let's, for instance... Now, we've already discussed its typing as being Fire and Flying, which gives it a ×4 weakness to rock and weaknesses to water and electric.
Yeah.
But it does have an immunity to ground, and it comes with 6 resistances. So it's not dreadful. It's
not dreadful. It's not great.
In terms of move pool, now, I'm currently looking at its Gen 9 move pool. The Gen 1 move pool...
We don't talk about the Gen 1 move pool because just not enough great moves existed yet.
No, exactly. But it is, again, it's not great, it's not terrible. So we're looking at, a lot of strong fire moves, obviously, Flamethrower, Heat Wave. Apparently they now learn Inferno, which is pretty cool.
Okay. Inferno's not as powerful as it sounds, if I remember correctly.
100 power, 50 accuracy, guaranteed burn.
I'm thinking of a different move.
Yeah.
Wait, did you say 50 accuracy?
50 accuracy.
Yeah, bollocks to that.
It was one of the signature moves of Chandelure in Gen 5.
Okay, cool. I'm never using that.
That's fair.
50 accuracy? Fuck off! You're gonna get shit with that.
You've also got Dragon Claw, Dragon Breath, Air Slash it now has to take advantage of its flying typing. It's got a much, obviously being a Gen 9, it's got a much more varied TM pool, including things like Solar Beam, Earthquake, Rock Slide, Thunder Punch.
Like, Solar Beam it can really make use of because Mega... Actually, it can't make use of anymore.
Yeah, not in Gen 9.
Not in Gen 9.
Prior to that, it could.
Because Mega Charizard Y had Drought, so it would always be in Sunshine, and then, laser beams.
One of the things I always find really funny is like all of the fanboys are always like Mega Charizard X is the best thing ever because it's black and has blue fire.
And it's a dragon. It's finally a dragon.
And yet, and it's finally a dragon. Yet Mega Charizard Y was the only one that was competitively viable.
Well, yeah.
Like that was the one that dominated the meta.
Well, because
Charizard is the same size as a Dalek.
Yeah, because hang on. Here's the thing. You've got the stats in front of you, don't you?
I do, yes.
Isn't Charizard much more special heavy?
Yes, it is.
And didn't Mega Charizard X get tough claws?
Yes, but it also got a big attack boost, but equally well, its big attack boost then matched its special attack.
Yeah, so it was like kind of a bit redundant.
It was pretty redundant,
and I think Fire and Dragon is a bit better of a typing, because it kills your ice weakness.
Yeah, Fire and Dragon... So Fire and Dragon, you still have 3 weaknesses, but you don't have a ×4.
Yeah, you don't have a ×4.
It's mildly better. But you lose the immunity to ground, and you lose a resistance.
That's true, that's true.
It's still not great.
Yeah.
Arguably, I would potentially prefer to keep the ×4 to Rock in order to keep the ground immunity and the extra resistance.
Yeah.
But yes. So Charizard, So Charizard... Lots of special moves, a few physical moves that it can use, but it's not making best use out of. Again, there's nothing incredible. Okay, you know what? Tell a lie. Jay, you want to hear something fucking wild?
Does Charizard learn Blaze Kick?
No, that would be hilarious.
Yeah, because look at them legs!
Great deal. That's some chunky legs.
Look at them legs! That thing can barely get off the sofa.
Useful. Gets False Swipe as a Charmeleon.
That's handy. False Swipe is a good move. I will never complain about a Pokemon learning False Swipe.
Absolutely. Except for, as we discussed last time, Sceptile, who gets it as their final move in the 60s, which is ridiculous.
Put it like this. I feel like False Swipe should be like Toxic. Or like Light Screen. Nobody really learns it naturally, but everyone can learn it via TN.
Yeah, I feel that.
Basically everyone can learn Toxic, and basically everyone can learn like Light Screen.
Certainly everyone can learn Return and Frustration.
Yeah, so I feel like False Swipe should be that.
But if you wanted to do a physical Charizard, Jonathan, you can.
I can, but I don't want to.
But you can because it can get Belly Drum as an egg move.
I'm going to say this right now, Belly Drum is goddamn useless unless you have a way to recover from it.
I mean, yeah, but it's still like...
And I'm not teaching my Charizard Roost.
Because you can chain breed it in from Slowpoke. I just think that's really
And the Slowpoke can't really object. What's it going to do? Run away? Anyway, I want to...
No! Jonathan, no! You didn't just say that.
Out loud, I did.
Fuck.
I'm going to put Charizard in B tier because I honestly...
I would say B tier with the potential to move up to A tier because it does get things like Dragon Dance. It does get quite a broad move pool. It certainly gets a move pool that can take advantage of its special attack.
Maybe we put it in A tier because, yes, Charizard does deserve some of the hype.
Yeah, although actually, looking at its TM pool, a lot of it is physical and not special. It's especially you're looking at Dragon Pulse, Fire Blast.
I'm going to take Diamond's advice, and I'm going to put this on the line between A and B tier.
All right.
For the first time, we do not have a definitive tier. Charizard goes in the middle.
And then, depending where everybody else lands, we'll decide where it deserves to go.
Now, moving on from that, because that took us 40 minutes.
A lot of tangents.
A lot of tangents. We're very good at this. We've done this like 17 times now. We're well practiced, you'd think. Next in the order, we have our, he's sleek, he's fuzzy, he evolves from quite literally one of the cutest starters ever. It's Typhlosion!
Yeah!
Typhlosion!
Fucking love Typhlosion.
Fucking love Typhlosion.
Now, we established last time all the Gen 2 starters are great.
Yeah!
But your favourite's for Alligator, my favourite's Typhlosion.
Yes. So, hey Chris, you want to talk to us about Typhlosion then?
I would love to talk to you about Typhlosion. The first thing I would like to tell you about Typhlosion, Jonathan. Yep, the first thing I would like to tell you about Typhlosion is that Typhlosion is the same height as Charizard! It's 5'7".
That is a giant-ass weasel.
Yep! It's a dragon and a weasel and they're the same height!
And honestly, that's a more ferocious-looking weasel.
It's a very ferocious-looking weasel.
Yeah.
He angy-looking boy.
Yeah, angy-looking boy.
What else can I tell you? I can tell you that its hidden ability is Flash Fire, which is at once good and bad.
Yeah.
Flash Fire being a move that means that fire-type attacks don't hurt Typhlosion, and it powers up its own fire-type attacks, but also, how often are you going to get hit by fire attacks as a fire-type? Not very often.
Yeah.
So it's not stellar.
One other thing I will say, Typhlosion very much like Meganium before it, emblemizes the weird Gen 2 problem, where honestly I think the middle evolution has a stronger design.
I mean, Quilava's design philosophy is great.
Quilava's design is fantastic, and I'm going to show you all Quilava just now.
Aye, please.
This is Quilava. This is not a great picture of Quilava, actually.
Yeah, look at Quilava. Quilava, you would get to huggle Quilava, and also, it has a mohawk and a fire butt.
It has a fiery mohawk and a fire butt.
Angie Baymax. Typhlosion does look like Angie Baymax.
A bit, yeah, just a bit.
But it would be really warm cuddles.
It would be extremely warm cuddles. Also the fact that Quilava has that Fanfy thing where it will roll up and just roll at you, because Quilava's the Pokemon that Flame Wheel was invented for.
It is indeed. It rolls up into a wheel and turns into fire, and
having that fire kind of all on the same line as the sort of Pokemon's design with that sleek weasel thing, I think works better than Typhlosion's kind of across the back weird cape thing.
That's fair.
So
I was gonna say.
Yeah, the Sonic the Hedgehog spin dash of death, except you're on fire. And you know what I think Sonic the Hedgehog could do with being set on fire?
Oh no.
You know what? I'm not gonna follow that up, because I'm gonna say something extremely bad about Sonic fans.
I mean, Sonic fans already know what they are. So
yeah,
they know what they are.
But let's not antagonize Sonic fans, because half of them are furries, and furries hold all the power on the internet.
This is true. They are the mightiest.
Yeah, they're either furries or under the age of 12, and it's unfair to offend people who are under the age of 12 because they can't fight back very well. And
this is true.
Do not offend the furries; they're probably going to be your next heart surgeon.
Well, also remember that the under 12-year-olds will absolutely wreck you in any online shooting game of your choice.
This is very
true. Say horrible things about your mother.
Especially with my skills at shooters.
Yeah, I'm not great at shooters either. Now, let's get some more Typhlosion stuff. So, interestingly, since, as a comparison with Charizard, for instance, so they're the same height, which is hilarious. They both have equally not particularly interesting dex entries about how they get angry and cause big fire to happen. That's pretty much it for both of them.
You're a brave man, Diamond.
But even more interesting, they have almost the same stat spread.
Really?
Yep, they both have 100 speed, so they're fast as each other. They both have about 109 special attack, and everything else is just pretty, mixed middle of the range, similar stuff, 70s and 80s.
Except Typhlosion's a pure fire type.
Yes, so the only difference being Typhlosion is a pure fire type, 3 weaknesses, no times 4s, no immunities, but still 6 resistances.
Fire?
And then, of course, if it has flash fire, then is immune to fire.
Which, that goes from a resistance to immunity.
Yeah. So that's, that's interesting.
Okay.
Yeah, so having taken that, though, and then if we move on to looking at its move pool, we again have a similar issue to Charizard, in that, there's a few types in there, but not loads. There's actually... Typhlosion's type spread for moves is worse in its learned moveset. Although it does have, I would argue, a better set of fire moves.
Because Typhlosion's top move is Eruption, isn't it?
It gets Eruption, Overheat, Flamethrower, and Lava Plume.
All of which are great.
Yeah. Whereas, Charizard is kind of sticking at Flamethrower, realistically.
Yeah.
To kind of do its best thing.
Yeah.
And then it gets fucking I forgot the name of it. Physical fire move with
Flare Blitz.
Flare Blitz. Yeah, it gets Flare Blitz, which you can't make full use of because
Flare Blitz is really fun because it was invented in Gen 4. The second time that a fire Pokemon was designed around its physical stats. But we'll get to that.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. So it's it's not stellar. It's variation comes in learning. It gets a couple of normal moves, namely things like Quick Attack and Swift and Double Edge. It also gets Gyro Ball, which it can't make great use out of because it has 100 base speed.
Yeah, Gyro Ball's a move that does more damage the slower you are than your opponent, so
Yeah, so that doesn't make sense. But it also learns Rollout.
Well, I'd have fucking rioted if it didn't learn Rollout.
Well, yeah. So that's kind of where it's at. However, once we move into, once we move into its move pool, we come into similar problems. It's predominantly physical. Although there is again variety. We get Aerial Ace, Low Kick, Rock Tomb, Brick Break, Zen Headbutt, Fire Punch, Thunder Punch, Stomping Tantrum, Rock
really
Slide.
Physical.
Yeah, special moves. We've got Shadow Ball, Heat Wave.
Shadow Ball's good.
It can learn Play Rough by TM, which is really fucking cool. Wild Charge, Earthquake. It gets Solar Beam, but it Focus Blast. So it's similar to Charizard. Its move pool is not truly reflective of its stat spread. Yeah. But probably a little bit worse than Charizard.
So I think that kind of makes that fairly clear cut.
It does. I'm just looking at.
I think that makes Typhlosion a solid B tier.
Egg moves, it can get Extra Sensory, which is cool as fuck.
Extra Sensory is good, but it's not great in terms of psychic moves.
No, otherwise we're looking at Double Kick, Reversal, Curse, which is okay. And that's kind of it. So Typhlosion, sadly, less good than Charizard. So I think if we put Typhlosion in,
I think that puts Typhlosion very solidly in B tier, where Charizard is kind of straddling the line.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's bad enough to really knock it down to C.
Well, I'm not sure if it is I'm wondering if Typhlosion would count as the average fire type Pokemon. Because looking at this, I kind of feel actually we could it has a pretty generic fire type hidden ability. It has pretty generic stats. It has pretty generic fire type moveset.
Also, hang on a second. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm just rattling through them in my head as fast as possible. Isn't Typhlosion the only pure fire starter? Yes, I think it is. Every other fire starter has a dual typing in some direction or another. Yeah. So I'm actually for putting Typhlosion firmly as our C tier, and then doing what you did and moving Charizard down to B. Because again, I don't think either of them are really built for what they do, although Charizard has more variety. I can't really think of an argument for that. Yeah. So yeah. Sorry, Typhlosion. We do love you, but you're going in C. And Charizard. Ah, Christ. Friggin' gimp. Charizard, you're going down to B tier. Here's the thing, though. Now, I am also, once again, for this next one, I'm kind of just going to shut the fuck up and let Chris go on this, because it is the one, the only, the Colonel's worst nightmare. It's Blaziken.
This is my all-time favorite Pokemon, guys. I'm sorry.
Blaziken is great.
Yeah.
Ignore the crotch fuzz. But Blaziken is great.
It's fucking great.
Like, from its design to its typing to its moves to its just attitude.
Yeah, it's just great. And you want to know what the first great thing about Blaziken is, Jay?
Yeah.
It's fucking taller than the last two.
Yeah, because, like...
It's average 6'3".
Yeah, that's a chicken Power Ranger.
Fucking is a chicken Power Ranger.
Fucking is a chicken Power Ranger.
Buff you up.
And you know what? It's morphin' time. Tell me what we got. What? How tall is fucking Blaziken again?
6'3".
Blaziken is taller than I am.
Yep. Blaziken is a solid 8 inches taller than Charizard and Typhlosion on average.
It wasn't a bust out of the tape measure, but way!
Yep.
6 foot, 1, 2, 3, 75 inches high, 190 centimeters for you people who use a sensible metric, measuring system. That is fucking tall. That is. It's fucking Blaziken knocking its head on my shelves.
Yeah.
That is a big chicken.
Big Chicken Ranger.
That is one big nugget.
So, the Big Chicken Ranger, let's start with, as we do, because I'm at the top of my page. So, Fire and Fighting, which is a lovely typing.
Yep.
Insofar as it does give,
but...
lovely typing. It gives 4 weaknesses, but still has 6 resistances.
Because it's Flying, Psychic, Water, and Ground, right?
Correct. So,
Yay!
So it's probably, it's about as good or bad as the last 2 in terms of typing. So that, but also we get to take advantage of our 2 types as Charizard did before us. And also because the next information I need to give you is that Blaziken has an absolutely stunning hidden ability.
Because it's Speed Boost, isn't it?
Fucking is!
This thing will just get faster and faster and faster until it is kicking you so hard and so fast you don't even see. You go straight past seeing God and you're just into oblivion.
Yup. It's yeah. Oh no, and let's have because Blaziken is also the first fire starter to have interesting Pokedex entries that are not just about angry make fire happen.
Yeah.
Such as the Pokemon Sapphire entry, which says Blaziken has incredibly strong legs. It can easily clear a 30-story building in 1 leap.
Like, okay, last time we talked about, when we were talking about sort of the vibes of the starters, Kamehameha Block, we had, we talked about it sort of like, just everybody getting together, just the big chill grass type nap time. Like, that's kind of the prevailing vibe. Fire types are pretty much the opposite of that. Like, while Typhlosion and Charizard are going, you want to fucking go, mate? You want to fucking go? And they're just chest bumping each other and being really hype aggro roid bros. Blaziken is standing in the back being like, guys, I jumped over the fucking pizza place. Do you want it? Like, do you want the spicy chicken or not?
Yeah. And it's great.
Like, Blaziken is the one who could just lay them both out flat. But is just standing at the sideline being like, guys, stop being twats and come have snacks.
Well, this is my second Pokedex entry that I really like about this, and interesting, because it's not one that actually, it's not one that repeats. Where a lot of the time when you get Pokedex entries, they repeat across generations.
Yeah, you get basically like variations or copies or yeah.
Yeah, but in Pokemon Emerald only, we have an entry that reads, every several years, its old feathers burn off and new supple feathers grow back in their place. And I just think that's really cool.
That is kind of cool, because also that's just the image of a Blaziken who's kind of halfway through that, and its entire, like, V-shaped head is just on fire.
Yeah! As, like, old feathers burn away to make way for new feathers. I just think that's so cool.
Oh, yeah, because there's actually another cool piece of, a genuinely quite cool piece of Blaziken's design that you can't see in this image, is when it, like, punches people, its wrists burst into flames.
Yup.
Which is really cool, which actually you can't see on the picture, but you can see on this little miniature that I had taped to the top of my my monitor. Little flames.
Absolutely, little flame wrists.
Yeah,
It was very fun.
Just put him back there.
Now,
Yeah, I have a bunch of Pokemon miniatures across the top of my monitors, and I've been resisting the urge to kind of like grab them down every time. But that's only because I don't actually have that many stars. I've got a Sceptile that I could have grabbed last time, but not really much beyond that.
that's all right. All right, you wanna talk some numbers?
I want to talk some numbers. I maybe also want to talk some letters, because do you want to put Blaziken in A or S tier? Because fucking, I love the design. How is it for stats?
Right, let's talk about stats. So, one of the things about Blaziken is that because Gen 3 started.
Yeah, it's kind of like S or A. There's not really a debate. Like, there's a debate between the two, but it's not really going any lower.
Yeah, because we're totally not biased.
Don't worry, Diamond. The chicken is not going to come and punch off your nuggets.
So, because Blaziken started in Gen 3, which is before the separation of church and state.
I'm so glad I got you using that as a phrase.
Fighting type is all physical moves. Fire is all special,
So
which means that in the name of being all offense all the time, Blaziken runs 120 attack and 110 special attack.
Fuck!
With 80 health, 80 speed, 70 defense, and 70 special defense. It is all about all punching all the time.
Taking like a little bit of a sacrifice in speed from the other two.
Yeah, but it has speed boost as a hidden ability, so it's like
yeah,
that
so it
is
stops mattering very fast.
Exactly. So, what that leads to for a move pool for us is predominantly physical with a couple of possibilities for special moves. And the predominantly physical is great because it covers 3 types. Because although Blaziken is a fire fighting type, as you have all noticed, this is chicken. So it also gets some hella good flying type moves.
Exactly.
So we're talking, like for flying type, we're talking Aerial Ace, Bounce, and Brave Bird, which is all great.
Yeah, like Brave Bird is a fantastic move.
For fire type moves, we're talking Fire Punch, Blaze Kick, and Flare Blitz.
Which actually, can fucking use.
Yep. For fighting type moves, we're talking Close Combat, we're talking Double Kick, we're talking Reversal, we're talking Bulk Up. And we've also got normal type moves in the form of Slash, Focus Energy. It has a good solid range of options.
Yeah.
It also gets moves like Feather Dance and Detect if you want to not stab someone at any given moment and want to, debuff people, etc. So it's solid. And that's before we look at its TM pool.
Unlike the other two, Blaziken seems to have really focused down on what it wants to do.
Yeah.
Like, Typhlosion and Charizard both feel a little bit unfocused, whereas Blaziken is like, no, I want to hit people, and I want to hit them really fucking hard.
It's not so much that I feel like Typhlosion and Charizard were unfocused so much as, like, they went for stats that reflected the typing but not the move pool.
See, that's the thing, is like, Blaziken has those moves.
Mm.
Because when you look at the move pool, you get things like Brick Break, you get things like Drain Punch. Like, there's a lot of good shit in there.
Yeah, but it can still make use of a high special attack stat, so you can do a special Blaziken if you want to.
Yeah.
And you can run it with things like Solar Beam, with Fire Spin, you can run it with Swift Round.
Like, what you could do would be run it with Overheat as just like a really powerful opener and then stick to physical attacks.
Jay.
Yeah?
Jay. So, cause Blaziken is not Gen 9 Pokemon. It is not available in Gen 9. It is available in Gen 8, however, which means it's got the big expanded move pool. And you
Yes.
want to know what's included in the big expanded move pool in the special attack category?
Do
Aura
tell.
Sphere.
Aura Sphere.
Yup.
See, yes, it does have the Kamehameha block.
It has a literal Kamehameha
Yeah.
that never misses.
So Blaziken's going in S tier, right?
I mean, yeah, given that physical moves again, we've got dark moves like Assurance, we've got ghost moves like Shadow Claw, we've got bug moves like U-Turn.
U-turn?
Yeah, we've got Thunder Punch, we've already covered Bounce Acrobatics.
Acrobatics is a good one.
Superpower Aura Sphere, Poison Jab, Stone Edge.
Oh, Poison Jab is fucking worth it, man.
Yup, it's got so many bases covered. If we look into its egg moves, we're talking Night Slash.
Oh, yes.
We're talking Crush Claw.
Oh, Crush Claw is a slept-on move. It's really good.
It is. Last Resort, which I think is interesting, and it could absolutely make really solid use
Yeah,
of.
because Last Resort is now way better than when it was originally put through.
Yeah, exactly. And actually, it's egg moves, so that's egg moves for Sword and Shield. It has a different set of egg moves for some fucking reason for Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. Oh yeah, because Dexit. Where we add in things like Baton Pass.
Okay.
Yeah, and Reversal.
See, I really wouldn't put Baton Pass on a Blaziken. Blaziken is what I would Baton Pass to.
Yes, it is normally, but it's just like that's just information that is out there.
Yeah.
Prior to the culling of moves, we could also get Dual Chop. We could get Focus Punch, Fury Cutter, High Jump Kick, Mirror Move, Power Up Punch,
Oh, Power Punch.
Sky Uppercuts, Toxic, Vacuum Wave. It's so many things. So yeah, no, I'm quite comfortable putting Blaziken in S tier for now. It can go down two routes and it can basically rock either of them depending what you want to do.
Blaziken leaping high over the competition into S tier.
Yeah.
But now we do have to move on.
Last no suffocation, don't breathing, don't give a cluck because I've set everything on fire. That is pretty true.
Now we have to move on to an interesting one.
Yeah.
The next firefighting type, the Monkey King himself.
Indeed.
It is Infernape.
Indeed.
This motherfucker. Now,
It is actually Gokuzaru in Japanese.
that makes absolute perfect sense.
Yeah.
Now, I'm gonna say this right now. Like, Infernape is, while it is hands down the weakest of the Gen 4 starters, it just is. There's no argument there. It just is. I'm not gonna lie, I fucking love Infernape's design.
I don't mind its design, I just dislike it as a Pokemon, and that's personal.
I do dislike it. Yeah, no, I can fully get that there. But,
The design is solid though. Like it's mythical Chinese character, does
like
fucking fire monkey.
it is Sun Wukong on fire.
Yeah. And you can't. It's a classic. You can't really argue with that.
Yeah, despite the fact that Sun Wukong wasn't really very associated with fire. Well, he kind of was and he kind of wasn't.
Ah.
The Chinese had a weird... You know how the Greeks had, like, the 4-element idea?
Yeah.
The Chinese had 5 and it was a bit weird.
Fair enough.
I think it was fire, water, air, metal, and wood. And there's a whole thing in the Journey to the West where, like, each of the 5 protagonists are associated with one of the 5 elements. And I think Monkey is associated with fire.
Well,
think
Pokemon
he's
certainly
associated
thinks
with
it is.
With the element of fire.
I
Need to go back and double check.
Fair.
I am yet to find a copy of Journey to the West. Like, it's one of those things where I know it's incredibly long. I know it's extraordinarily long, but I wanna read it.
It's fair. I imagine it's probably just quite difficult to find like a kind of good English translation.
Yeah.
To be fair. Yeah. Alright.
So Infernape.
So Infernape. You wanna hear some delightful Infernape facts?
I would love to.
Infernape have an average height of 3'11".
Okay, he's a little shrimpy skinny boy.
It's a very shrimpy skinny boy. But it has hidden ability Iron Fist, so will punch you in the nuts.
Yeah, we'll punch you, like, in the context of the scenario I set it earlier, where, Typhlosion and Charizard are, like, chest bumping each other, trying to be, big and macho, and Blaziken standing there to be like, guys, I bought the snacks. Infernape is the guy who is, like, he's still chill. Infernape is the guy who is already into the snacks. But, like, if somebody tries to take his Doritos off him, he's going to uppercut them into next week.
Yeah, because he did way too much martial arts as a kid and is, heavy into it.
That's some lean power, but like, if you don't mess with him, he's just a nice dude.
So that's the thing. Like, you make a guess that, yeah.
Infernape gives me good hangout vibes.
I mean, fair. I think probably. But that's, hence from our description, you may guess that Infernape is another fire and fighting type.
Yes.
So, let's look at... So... Sorry. Pokedex entry. It uses a special kind of martial art involving all its limbs.
Infernape does capoeira.
It apparently it just uses hands and feet, and this is shocking in the Pokemon world.
Infernape just jumps and starfishes, just whee!
Apparently so.
Yeah, like Infernape's like, anybody want some? Anybody want some?
Oh, this is lovely. So Legends Arceus, Pokedex entry says, a tall, hardy Pokemon with a dazzling appearance. It shrouds itself in flames in battle as if engaged in a dance. Truly a sight to behold.
I mean, to be fair, look at that smile. That monkey thinks it fucks.
I love that you say it thinks it fucks.
That monkey thinks it fucks. That monkey thinks it's got Riz.
Alright, so, you want some numbers?
Yeah, give me some numbers.
So Infernape...
Disco Inferno.
Disco Inferno. Sorry. Disco Inferno! So, Infernape, where Blaziken spec'd hard into offense at the sacrifice of other things, Infernape almost does the same. And across all bases in the same kind of way, but different.
Okay.
In that we have 104 attack and special attack, and 108 speed.
Okay, so it's fast and it's strong. How's the defensive stats?
71, 71, and 76 health.
So it takes a little dip in the defenses, but it's gone for a nice even.
Yeah, and again.
Pretty sure I'm trying to remember if I'm younger than you, Phoebe. I honestly can't remember, but also. Eh?
Stop trying to sound young. Are we trying to sound young? What?
I think she's complaining. I think she's complaining about my use of the word Riz.
Fuck's sake. Phoebe has called you old, which means I'm fucking ancient. I'm a desiccated corpse here. Thanks, Phoebe.
To be fair, you are being called, just to twist a cigarette into that particular burn wound. You are being called old by somebody who studies medieval literature. So that's a scale of old.
Why, when I was a young man, we didn't have any of these fire monkeys. In my day, we only had good old-fashioned lizards with wings. Didn't you know? And they weren't dragons. They were just lizards. Shut up, haters.
Because there was only one dragon.
Exactly, and it was Dragonite.
It was only one dragon.
It was
and it had
in
diabetes.
the name. He did have diabetes. Everybody looked at that dragon and they thought, see that dragon's diet. Diabetes.
And yet, to this day, it will fucking wreck shop.
Yeah, this is true. This is true. No Beowulf got that fucker.
My body isn't a temple, it's a Federation starship on 0% shields and hull breaches on all decks.
Woof! That's hard.
I have never felt so called out by something that I 100% agree with.
Fuck's sake. All right. You want to talk Son Goku?
Let's talk Sun Wukong.
All right, Son Wukong has the most varied learned move pool so far.
That makes sense. That makes sense when you think that the character it's based on is also one of the most widely depicted characters and referenced characters in all of fucking media ever.
I mean, yes, absolutely. So, this is a Gen 8 move pool. So, obviously we have our fighting moves. We have Mach Punch. We have Close Combat. We have Power Up Punch. So, it's a pretty solid roster there.
Some good fighting moves.
In terms of fire, we're looking at Flare Blitz and Flamethrower, Fire Spin.
That's an idea for later, Phoebe. We'll talk about that.
What?
Assigning Pokemon stats to medieval marginalia monsters. Because I've seen some of the pictures. She showed me some of the pictures. Those things are fucking weird, and I love them.
I'm 100% here for this, by the way.
Right, if we're going to do that, we need to get somebody who can draw, because we're going to make some fake Mon.
Fuck yeah, we are, and it's going to be great.
Yeah, it's going to be weird, and there's going to be a penis tree.
There we go.
Don't ask about the penis tree, just move on.
Okay!
Just know that it's a thing, I didn't make that up.
Our interesting things, however, for for our monkey boy, is also that we get U-turn, and we get acrobatics.
Same as Blaziken.
Well, yeah, but learned naturally.
Oh,
which is like, yeah,
neat.
Indeed, we also get quite a number of moves more aimed at buffing. So we get Nasty Plot, we get Calm Mind.
Okay, that's all good.
Yep.
See, this is what makes you think that Infernape is more chill.
Yeah, exactly. We get Slack Off for health recovery.
Yeah, man.
And then for more debuffing, we have Taunt and we have Feint.
Okay.
So, it's
a little tricksy.
Yeah, it's got some flexibility to it. And again, despite, I do think it's interesting that it's predominantly physical moves with a completely even stat split on physical and special, but all of its buff moves, like its moves for buffing itself, like Nasty Plot and Calm Mind, are special.
Yeah.
Not physical. Its only physical move for buffing is Power Up Punch.
Yeah, like he's a skinny boy. He could do to bulk up.
He could do, and he doesn't learn bulk up.
It's a shame.
I know, it is a shame.
Little bit of a disconnect between his training regimen and how he actually fights.
I mean, I think it's the moves very much pull it in one direction, despite a stat spread that should be able to do both.
Yeah,
so that's a little bit.
Like he could have done with taking some points out of special attack and sticking it into health.
Yeah, or even putting it into physical attack, because he
just make it stupid.
Yeah, because he doesn't make use of his special stat, really.
Well,
and even we're looking at TMs.
To be fair, if you had a starter Pokemon, something you get for free that had like 130 base attack, that would be kind of nuts.
Yeah, but Blaziken has 120 base attack.
Yeah, and it's kind of nuts.
It is kind of nuts. But,
we just put Blaziken in S tier.
We did. But it's just, again, if you've got the split between the two, but you can't make use of one of them, it's not great.
Infernape should learn Aura Sphere.
But
only for thematic reasons.
Yeah, I know, for thematic reasons, absolutely. But instead, it gets Hyper Beam, Solar Beam, Flamethrower, Fire Blast, Overheat, Focus Blast, and Grass Knot.
Oh my god,
which is pretty crap.
It's not great. But I have just thought of something. Awesome.
Okay, what is it?
So, for those of you who are not, big into Chinese mythology or anything, the character of Son Goku in Dragon Ball, everybody's favorite muscly anime man, who isn't a Joestar, is based on the Chinese mythological figure Sun Wukong, the Monkey King, same as Infernape. So you know what? I would fucking kill to see a Fakemon artist take Infernape through every single one of Goku's transformations.
I mean, that would be hilarious.
That would be awesome.
I would laugh a great deal.
That would be awesome.
Particularly Super Saiyan 3 with the big hair.
It's the big hair!
Well...
The proper, metal rocker mane.
It would be so good.
Yeah.
But yeah, in terms of other stuff, TM Pool is okay. It's not as good as Blaziken's, I don't think. In that, again, we've got fighting moves, but otherwise we've got Iron Tail's interesting, Earthquake and Dig,
Okay.
Rock Tomb and Aerial Ace.
Okay.
So
we've got some coverage.
Yeah, Shadow Claw, also Poison Jab. But that's kind of it. So I don't feel like it's quite as exciting.
It's not quite as exciting, but honestly, that's still a pretty good move pool and a genuinely fairly solid design.
It absolutely is.
And a good vibe. I like this boy. I kind of want to put Infernape in A tier.
I'm feeling that he's probably an A tier.
Yeah. Which honestly I didn't think I was gonna say.
I didn't think either, but here we are.
Across the years, Chris and I have, I think, heaped a lot of undeserved hate on Infernape, but that's just because it isn't Empoleon or Torterra.
Yeah, who we love.
Because its two best buds are way cooler than it, but it goes into a new friend group of the Just the Fire types, and it's a really cool dude there, and it's okay with that.
Yeah, and actually, I think it's what stops it going into S tier is the stat split for me. Is that if it was able to take advantage of both stats, then I would be happy to put it in S tier up with Blaziken.
Yeah, but it really doesn't.
Yeah, it doesn't. And although it does, but the thing that takes above Charizard is that it's got the move pool to take advantage of certainly at least one of its stats really, really well.
Because Infernape was the beginning of the separation of Church and State at Gen 4. So things separated, it could really focus down on that physical attack, and it did. It just maybe shouldn't have had that stat split. It could have done with a bit more speed or a bit more health. And it has that move variety, but it's still not enough in terms of the physical special split to keep up with Blaziken, but it is still a lot more than Typhlosion or Baby Charizard.
Yeah.
So I say Infernape is pretty solidly A tier.
I would agree. I'm just looking at its hidden ability, Iron Fist. It doesn't have lots of punching moves to take advantage of that, which is a real shame.
I mean, it at least has close combat, and Fire Punch, which you can very much put.
Close combat doesn't.
Combat doesn't fucking count.
Nope.
Fuck off.
Yeah, close combat does not. Hammer Arm does, as does Ice Hammer, but close combat does not.
Fair. Anywho, next in the order we have the final firefighting type, because it was kind of a thing of just being like, oh, fire and fighting, let's do that. And
3 in a row.
Rather than the high-powered kicks of Blaziken or the svelte sneakiness of Infernape, we just went with bulk, and it is Emboar.
Now, I'm going to say...
Look at that flaming chin strap.
I'm going to say, legit tree. He is, this is great.
Yeah. I've never trained an Emboar.
I have trained all 3 starters in Gen 5, which is where we are. And Serperior is dreadful.
Yep, as we established.
Samurott is good but underpowered.
Yeah, Samurott needs something.
Emboar ticks all the boxes, but it was only the second time that I trained an Emboar that I found all of the boxes to tick.
Because that's the thing, is I remember the first time you played an Emboar, you were really complaining about it.
I was I was really not impressed. And then I chose one, after I'd gone through all of the others, I chose one again, because I was like, I don't like any of the others. Let's see if this is any good.
It's a bit of a theme with Gen 5, actually.
Yeah, and then I found that actually it is actually startlingly good.
Yeah.
As long as you take it down, one particular place.
That's like a thing with Gen 5 where it's only later and on replays that you kind of appreciate just how fucking good they are, especially in the Pokedex. Like, Gen 5 has a phenomenal Pokedex.
It really does.
And you really don't notice that.
I feel like the first time you play through Gen 5, you are so busy dealing with how ugly the graphics are.
Yeah, that you don't notice things like Audino and Seismitoad and Emboar and, like, fucking Scolipede.
Yeah,
like Gen 5
will always be one of my favorites.
Yeah,
and
Gen
Joltik
genuinely has a phenomenal Pokedex, but it was let down by its first series of games, which is why Black and White 2 are like some of the best Pokemon games you can play.
Yeah, Black and White 2 are very good.
Up there, man.
Yeah. Oh no, 100%.
Yeah. Hey, talk about Emboar.
Let's talk about Emboar. So, Emboar, standing a sturdy 5 foot and 3 inches tall. We are kind of median, you know, not as tall as Charizard and Blaziken. Well, no one's as tall as Blaziken yet. But
well, it's a foot shorter than Blaziken.
It's a solid foot shorter than Blaziken. So it's not the shortest because we have Infernape now.
Yeah.
But it is fairly short. Still too tall to play a dwarf in Disneyland. True fact.
Yeah.
It also has hidden ability Reckless, which is a risky one because Reckless powers up moves that do recoil damage.
Oh.
Yeah.
Which, actually kind of works for Emboar.
Well, this is the thing. Emboar is one of the very few Pokemon that can make really serious use of that.
Yeah.
Which we will explain why in a moment. Previously, however, it was apparently the purview of Hitmonlee exclusively, who pretty much just uses it for high jump kick.
I was gonna say, does high jump kick count for that?
It does.
Oh, yeah, fair. I was gonna say, it's like that. I mean, whenever someone thinks about abilities and recoil, I think about Aggron with Iron Head or Pardos.
Absolutely, but it counts for recoil or crash damage. So yeah, it's exciting. Alright, let's look at you want to hear some cute Pokedex entries?
Yeah, because I'm still kind of trying to work out Emboar's vibe here.
So it can throw a fire punch by setting its fists on fire with its fiery chin.
Yeah, Emboar is just that guy who goes.
And it's the second
fucking
half
reloads his arms like Henry Cavill in Mission Impossible.
Yeah, but the second half of that, Jay, is the best bit, which is it cares deeply about its friends.
See, that's the thing. Like, Emboar really does give me friendly kind of tussle vibes.
I think,
but nothing. But
I think, despite the fact that it's a pig,
I
think Emboar is a bear.
Yeah, Emboar is a big cuddly boy.
Bear.
Like, Emboar is exactly the kind of guy who will put you in a headlock and give you a noogie and give you a big hug as soon as he lets you out of it.
Yeah.
That's kind of the vibe Emboar gives me. But also, like, you're well aware that he's just perfectly capable of throwing whoever causes a problem through an upstairs window.
Yeah, he would be your pal that is a bouncer.
Yeah, he's your mate who's a bouncer. Like, the kind of person who will walk into a room and who will always seem perfectly at ease because they've got that level of physical confidence that they know that if there's ever any trouble, they'll be fine.
Yeah, this is good.
Yeah.
Right, hang on. Here we go. So.
Emboar's vibe kind of very much. Not tonight, mate. Just leave it, mate. Just leave it.
Fair. Just looking at moveset here because Emboar
in the wonderful
not available in Gen 8 or Gen 9.
In the wonderful little word picture that I've been painting of just bros harassing and snacks being passed out, Emboar is kind of he's kind of like leaning against the door, just there with a big smile on his face because he knows there's not like that Typhlosion and Charizard aren't actually gonna throw hands at each other. Yeah. But he's just like, oh, it's fun to watch them bond.
It is. Now, let's talk violence.
Let's talk violence, because we love violence here.
Here's a place where we do in fact love violence. So
sorry, I can't rip that line off. Sorry. Just the we don't. It's like it just overly sarcastic productions. Great channel on YouTube. Watch it. It's just a reminded of a little piece from one of the live streams. It was like, OSP does not condone violence, or at least not murder. OSP condones sending a message.
Well, in the vein of sending a message,
Yeah.
Embor has access to a lot of things. Oh, I forgot to tell you its stats.
Yeah, I'm assuming big physical attacker with some chunky defenses.
Well, you would think that. What we have is big physical attacker with chunky health and a startlingly high special attack.
Oh.
So we have 123 base attack, which is great. 110 health, which is great. 100 special attack, which is interesting. And 65s for defense, special defense, and speed.
Yeah.
So his defense is his health. And if
It's a big boy.
Yup, if you get past his health, he dead.
Yeah.
But in terms of Father, I Crave Violence, what we do have we have Hammer Arm for some violence. We have Heat Crash, which is the first Pokemon I think to ever learn Heat Crash.
Yeah, I
it
believe
was
it
just damage based on your weight, and Embor is a chunky boy.
Yeah.
We also have, to take advantage of that Reckless ability, we have Takedown.
Yep.
And we have Head Smash, which is a 150 power rock type move.
Yeah,
and
if you ever want to
Flare,
just wreck shop.
it fucking does. And Flare Blitz. So, pretty solid. And yeah, so it's alright. It's alright. We also get some variety from having Assurance. We get Smog, if you want to kind of inflict status ailments. Older Sleuth to hit ghost types. It's, it's okay.
Yeah, we can dig it.
Roar at level 55, which is a bit questionable.
Oh, that's a bit pants.
Yeah. But the other important
Because Roar basically just makes people run away.
It does. But the real thing that Embor has going for it, beyond quite a good move pool, is a really great TM learn set and tutor learn set.
What we got?
Alright, for a start, what we got is Solar Beam, Smackdown, Earthquake.
Smackdown's good.
Smackdown's good. Rock Tomb, Overheat, Focus Blast, Scald.
Scald?
Scald,
the water type move.
Yup.
Fuck yeah, man.
Yep. Giga Impact, Stone Edge, Gyro Ball, which you can make use of because it's slow.
Shit.
Rock Slide, Poison Jab, and very importantly, because of its Reckless ability, Wild Charge.
Yes, big electric move.
Yup. So basically, most of the time, what you do with this boy is you give him a fire move, a rock move, an electric move, and then whatever else the fuck you want.
And then leftovers. Or,
yeah.
Sorry, no, you give it Shell Bell.
You do give it Shell Bell.
You give it Shell Bell because the only problem with Embor is that if you give it its most powerful moveset, it's going to kill itself.
But also, we get Body Slam, Heavy Slam.
Yep.
Magnitude, Sucker Punch, Superpower, Thrash. That's your egg moves.
Okay.
Which is delightful. Tutor moves. We're looking at Iron Head and Iron Tail, Stomping Tantrum, Thunder Punch, Zen Headbutt.
Yes. All good shit.
Yup. I'm like, Embor brings it. And Embor brings it in a hardcore way.
Embor's really got that variety to go for it.
It really does. And that was the thing I didn't appreciate when I first trained one. And then the second time round, I was like, damn, this thing got levels.
This is a pig with depth.
Yeah, this is a pig. And it means that although it primarily does one thing, I mean, the 100 base special attack means you could build it for special attack if you want.
But like Infernape, it doesn't have the moves for it.
Yeah, it's kind of pointless.
Yeah.
But if you build it as a chunky physical attacker, I think it absolutely has the moves to go with that. I mean, I would obviously prefer if we had a little bit more in the way of buffing, where Infernape has
Nasty Plot and Slack Off and Karma. That's the thing. Emboar would really need Slack Off because you're trying to build something that's like a bulky attacker. So it's meant to stay there for a little while to keep slugging it out. Whereas Infernape is I'm gonna hit you hard and I'm gonna hit you fast.
Yeah, and I mean, in fairness, Emboar can learn Work Up and Bulk Up.
Work Up and Bulk Up really good. Like that's the buff that Infernape needed. But at the same time, if Emboar got something that could restore its HP, that would be a huge deal.
Hey Jay, you know what it's got?
Recover?
Rest.
Rest! There it is!
That's the one you want.
Yeah. Now,
so, yeah.
Here's the thing. We've talked about the quantitative aspects of Emboar. I want to talk a little bit about the qualitative aspects. I want to talk about Emboar's design. So we've kind of covered the fact that I'm just very aware of the time. We've kind of covered the fact that Emboar kicks ass in the numbers. It really has it there. Now, anyone who's watched My Hero Academia knows that Emboar did the Firebeard first. So Endeavor can suck it. But also, it's got a very drum-like kind of wrap around. It's very sort of sumo wrestler with its big arms. I kind of dig it as just it's solid, it's planted. I don't like its tiny feet.
No, I think it's actually, and I'm not certain about this, I would need to double check, but I think the belt round the middle is actually inspired by a Chinese design, I think.
See, I'm looking at that and all I'm thinking is Taiko Drum.
I mean, that's fair.
Although I will say one thing, I think Emboar's eyebrows should have been on fire as well as his beard.
Yeah, I mean, that's a reasonable expectation.
Yeah.
Here we go.
It would. I think it would have helped to make the beard look less shit because unfortunately, as much as it is you've got a cool fiery beard going on, you've chosen a really shitty beard style.
Jay.
Yeah.
So I was right about the Chinese inspiration. Apparently, Emboar is based on the character of Zhang Fei from Romance of the Three Kingdoms.
Oh shit! I don't know anything about that.
Oh, but apparently there may also be, according to this, Emboar may also be based on Zhu Baji, a pig demon from the Chinese tale Journey to the West.
Oh, right.
So there's also some crossover there.
Needs a rake.
Yeah.
Yeah. I believe the closest equivalent that you would really get to Journey to the West was Sayuki.
Yeah, I very much enjoyed Sayuki.
Gojo.
Yeah.
Yeah, very much that character. Because all of them are direct lines to the characters from Journey to the West, except that the priest doesn't suck and get captured all the time because Sanzo's a badass.
Yeah, Sanzo is a badass.
Whereas basically Tripitaka exists to be captured.
Fair. Yeah, Sanzo doesn't do that.
Yeah, I think Emboar's got a really strong design. It's got a really strong moveset. I think Emboar belongs in S tier.
I agree.
Yeah, I think this
Yeah.
This big pig deserves his spot up at the top. I've just realized I made the image a little bit too big, but fuck it. Now, we are very much running out of time here, very fast. We're only just over halfway through. So we're going to move on to away from
6,
Fire.
7, 8, and 9. We have 4 more to do.
We've got 4 more generations to do in just over 20 minutes to do them. Let's fucking go. Now we're going to move on to one of the best thematic styles of things. We talked about it the last time with Chestnut. It is the mage of that particular party. It is Delphox. Now, I would heavily advise anyone against Googling Delphox without your safe search on, because frankly, there is a good chunk of the Pokemon community that is just major perverts, and we are sorry. And we do not associate
very sorry
with
to Delphox.
Okay, Delphox got snatched up by them because it's humanoid. But honestly, Delphox gives me big hag energy.
That, I think, is the point.
Delphox, you've got the one, that sort of slightly crooked stance. I think, put it like this, Delphox needs a hat.
Delphox does need a hat, but its previous evolution, Braixen, was 100% based on a witch, in that it has a flaming broomstick.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we're in the right area.
Yeah. Delphox is really cool in terms of its I think, again, it's potentially the weakest of the Stardust trio, but by a thin-ass margin.
it's the weakest of the three, but partly because it's
because Greninja was the favorite, and Chestnut really rocks.
Yeah,
but also Delphox is fucking badass.
It is. But
don't fuck with the mage.
Its unique move is bad.
Yeah. But like, here's the thing: as anyone who's ever played,
also its hidden ability is bad.
What's its hidden ability?
Magician.
Oh, bollocks to that. Anybody who's played an RPG of the tabletop or computer variety will tell you, mages have a little bit of problem usually at the start. Like, they're going, oh my god, I'm out of spell slots, or I'm out of mana, or oh god, I've just got my robes. But then when they get later on, they are bending reality to their fucking whims.
It's pretty cool.
And that's kind of like Delphox. Like, Delphox takes a little bit of a while to get going, but it's like its later move pool, when you really start to dig into it, kicks ass, if I remember correctly.
Well, we're going to find out, because what we have here as the very first Fire Psychic type, which is like all the special attack all the time, at a short arse height of 4'11". Yes, this is a small boy.
We stand a short king.
What we do have is we have a special attack stat of 114, special defense stat of 100, and a speed stat of 104. So it's a pretty classic special attacker build.
Yeah, this is a fast special sweeper. This is like, basically this thing has taken out, it sees Alakazam with its spoons, it takes out its stick, and it's like, I'm gonna turn your ass into marshmallows and roast you.
Sadly, Alakazam is better.
Sadly, Alakazam is better because 2 spoons is better than 1 stick.
This is true. It's just a numbers game at that point.
Yeah.
Now, sadly, Delphox's Pokedex entry is not staggeringly interesting. It looks into the fire and sees the future, and that is all it does, I'm afraid. But it also has 7 resistances, which is pretty cool, but 5 weaknesses. So, we mix and match. And also, an interesting move pool, as you said. Also, it has a Gen 9 move pool, which I fucking love.
Which is very recent, actually. Delphox got released as a terror, is I believe still the 9-star terror raid at the moment.
Nice. So, we have
at
time of broadcast. We have its unique move, Mystical Fire, which has actually been buffed now. It's now got 75 power instead of 60.
It's been buffed, but also it's no longer unique to Delphox.
No, it is no longer unique to Delphox. It is now unexciting. Because other people learn it. God damn it, a whole bunch of people learn it now.
Whereas the other 2 kept theirs.
Yes. Aye. Lowers the target special attack by 1 stage. Yeah, it's just not very exciting.
It's not.
No. But we do get also, they didn't keep their Spike Shield is no longer unique to Chestnut.
Oh shit, isn't it?
No, it's not.
Oh, fun.
Well, I use it in my
oh yeah.
So we're looking at psychic moves, we're looking at fire moves, we're looking at Fire Blast, we're looking at psychic, we're looking at flamethrower, we're looking at Psyshock. We're also looking at Shadow Ball for a little bit of variety, but beyond that, Delphox isn't doing lots of things new until you move into its TM pool. Again, not staggeringly great, sadly. In terms of, I think possibly just because special TM's harder to come by. But special moves, we're looking at, Mud Slap.
Oh fuck.
And Mud Shots, Nightshade. Dazzling Gleam though.
Dazzling Gleam's good.
Dazzling Gleam is good. Heat Wave, which is good. Focus Blast, Solar Beam, those are all, reasonable.
Dig them.
A lot of physical moves that it just can't make use of, sadly. And then a very lacking egg pool, sadly. Although Heat Wave is an egg move also. A Hypnosis, I guess. So it's not brilliant. And it's a shame because I personally love Delphox's design. I love Delphox the Pokemon, but it's not great.
As I keep coming back to this old scenario, Delphox is while Blaziken is the one holding the snacks, Delphox is the one who ordered them.
Yes.
Delphox is the one who hangs around at the gym, but isn't who doesn't do a lot of the exercises. They're the one who just kind of hangs out because they like being around these people, and they're the one who knows how to like make decisions and stuff, and actually talk to people, whereas the others are kind of just like, yeah, no, we just do our shit. Whereas Delphox is just happy to be there.
I think
Delphox goes to the gym to read.
Like a real weirdo.
Goes there to read and hang out with its friends.
Yeah, I do feel like Delphox is also probably the one who, after ordering the snacks, is the last one to get any.
Yes, that's probably true.
Yeah, it's a sad fact.
They all like Delphox, but it's just like there's never any badness to it. But it's just like, yeah, no, Delphox just isn't assertive enough to be the one who gets the snacks. But I kind of like the image of like Infernape's there on the leg press, and Delphox is just sitting there reading next to it, just being like, yeah, man, you're doing great. Yeah. You're doing his thing.
I mean, that is definitely an image. That is definitely an image.
So, yeah, Delphox is a strong design let down by move pools and stats.
Well, no, not necessarily stats. I think the stats absolutely reflect what it does.
Yeah, because it's got some real strong special attack, but it doesn't have... It's got some really good speed, but it doesn't have a lot.
It's a classic special attack build in that it's got all in special attack, strong special defense, fairly strong speed. You know, Florges has basically, and Gardevoir all basically have the same stat spread.
Yeah.
But you know, like, better.
Here's the thing is, if I was to choose a powerful special attacking fire type, I'd probably pick Chandelure over Delphox.
Oh, 100% you would choose Chandelure over Delphox.
So
this is, I feel like Delphox, I don't want to, but I almost feel like I would put it in D. I feel like since Typhlosion is our C tier, Typhlosion is our like bracket in the middle, as this is our quintessential fire type that just does fire.
I think
you're right. Does fire good. I do feel like Delphox, although it does do fire good, it doesn't do the things as good as it should.
Yeah, I like Delphox. I have trained a Delphox. I kind of agree with you when it comes to D tier.
Yeah. And again, I think
she does have such cool flared sleeves and like a great fucking witchy aesthetic.
She's beautiful. She's stunning, and it's like, I do think that it's a matter of opinion at that point. I think you could probably bump it up to C, or you could put it in D. I think that's down to opinion here.
Yeah.
But I certainly wouldn't put it as high up as Charizard and Infernape.
Now we're going to move on to something that is a lot less understated. The bane of Smash Brothers, the fucking roided up dude bro who will laugh at somebody when they fall over. It's Incineroar.
I hate it so much.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I don't have great feelings towards Incineroar.
No.
Like, I'm just to dive straight into like the image there. Incineroar is the guy that is always there, but he never is actually invited to stuff.
Yeah, he just turns up and is like, "Hey, my bro!" Forgets your name, walks into your house, steals your Pringles.
Yeah, this is a guy who will walk in and drink the last 3 beers in your fridge.
Yeah.
But also, that's actually not what I was originally going to say. Incineroar is the guy who is going to see whatever goes down between Typhlosion and Charizard, and he won't pick up the loser. He'll just laugh at them.
Yeah.
Like, this is
dogpile someone.
Just to continue sort of the gym metaphor, this is the kind of guy who goes to a gym to hit on people.
Yeah.
And nobody likes that guy.
No.
Nobody likes that guy.
Speaking of hidden ability, Intimidate.
That's the core of the problem.
Yeah.
Incineroar, base large life, a pro wrestler. It's got a cool fire dark typing. Admittedly, there's definitely somebody who fits. There is a Pokemon that's existed for 5 generations at this point that fits that style way better. Because, hey man, Houndoom rocks.
Houndoom rocks. But you know, it was at the time it was absolutely something different.
Yeah. It was something interesting, but again, I think having trained in Incineroar, actually having trained all 3 of the Gen 7 starters, Incineroar is again. It's weird. We're kind of having a bit of a theme here of the fire type being kind of like the weakest of the three.
Yeah.
Like, but admittedly, that's. And it's not just because both Primarina and Decidueye are fucking stellar.
They are.
So.
I mean, yeah. Sadly, and this does make me sad, Incineroar is a very respectable 5'11" in height.
Yeah, like this is the kind of person who would put that in their bio.
Also, like, just, for the sake of Pokedex entry for Pokemon Sun, this Pokemon has a violent, selfish disposition. If it's not in the mood to listen, it will ignore its trainer's orders with complete nonchalance.
He's a dick!
Yup!
Incineroar is a
Pokedex
dick.
thinks he's a dick.
So while that we have established that Incineroar has very serious small dick energy, what have we got in terms of numbers?
In terms of numbers, we have not as exciting a spread as you would think.
Really?
So we've got a solid 115 base attack.
That's pretty fucking solid.
It is. And, the respect and the inverse being the only 80 in special attack, so we know which end we've gone for.
Yeah.
But unlike everybody else who's then gone for speed or health, at 95 in health, 90 in defense, 90 in special defense, and 60 in speed.
Okay, that's actually not bad.
It's okay. It's like slow and average across all defenses.
Yeah, which is actually a lot more respectable than we've kind of seen in the last few, which have all been like very hyper offensive. Like,
yeah.
Despite
certainly.
the design of something like Emboar, we haven't really had a fire starter tank.
I mean, Emboar was tanky in that it had 110 base health.
Emboar was tanky in terms of its health, but as we both know, you need more than health to be able to really carry you in terms of tank.
This is true. So Incineroar is like the moderate across the board kind of package here.
Yeah, I just can't get the image out of my head of it laughing and preening itself and being like, oh yeah, nobody can stand up to me, and then Blaziken just kicking it in the dick so hard that it goes through the roof.
Well, that's why it's got a fighting weakness. It has 4 weaknesses: fighting, ground, rock, and water. Has an immunity to psychic, and 6 resistances. So it's that's probably one of the better typings we've had.
The only person who can really bully is Delphox.
Yes.
And nobody bullies Delphox because everybody likes Delphox.
Yeah, not allowed to bully Delphox.
Yeah, nobody's allowed to bully Delphox.
And then now looking at a move pool, not staggeringly varied initially. We've got its unique move, Darkest Lariat, and Throat Chop as 2 very strong
Throat Chop's a
physical
real
dark
good move.
moves. Yep, absolutely.
Bit situational,
We've also
but still strong.
Yep. We've only got 1 physical fire move, but it's Flare Blitz, so,
Really? It doesn't learn Fire Punch naturally?
Nope. Learns Flamethrower. Learns Fire Fang, my apologies.
Okay, learns Fire Fang.
Yeah.
Because I was going to say, hang on.
But, very much in Incineroar's favour, it also gets Cross Chop.
Okay.
And it gets Thrash. Which are both very good.
I do not understand this thing you've typed in.
What does it say?
It's some punctuation.
It is some punctuation. Question mark. It's on Phoebe.
Right.
In terms of TMs, again, we're looking at Gen 8, so we're looking at the expanded Gen 8 TM list, which is lovely. So Fire Punch, Thunder Punch, U-Turn, Brick Break, Drain Punch, Shadow Claw, Acrobatics, Bulldoze,
Okay.
Stomping Tantrum, Earthquake, Leech Life, wildly.
Well, to be fair, Gen 8 was when Leech Life got good.
This is true. Outrage.
Yeah, that
Which is
makes
great.
sense. This thing would throw a Temper Tantrum.
Yup. Crunch for more dark type. Superpower and Blaze Kick for more fighting and fire. Iron Head, actually, for a steel move. So actually, that's pretty solid.
Yeah, so it's
That
got...
is pretty solid.
Yeah, with the TMs, it's got some decent coverage.
Yeah. Not...
Should absolutely learn Circle Throw, though. Despite the fact
mean-
that was one of the... I'm pretty sure Circle Throw was one of the moves that got shafted for Gen 8.
Yeah, pretty sure it was too. But we have got some good. Well, we've got some interesting egg moves. Fake out, parting shot, and power trip. I know, like, it's interesting. It's not necessarily good, but it is interesting.
This is not the Pokemon I'd put parting shot on.
No, it doesn't really make sense.
This is the thing you would parting shot into.
Yeah, pretty much. And power trip doesn't really make sense because it's not got a lot of stat boosting moves. I mean, it's got a few by TM, does it? Oh, Jay, it gets Payday by TM.
Didn't even realize Payday was a TM.
Well, it was a TM in Generation 1, and apparently they made it a TM again in Generation 8.
This is a motherfucker who cares about money. This is somebody who really cares. This is the kind of person who will introduce themselves with their salary.
It does get bulk up and work up, in fairness, from TR and TM, and also Swords Dance. But like naturally it gets bulk up as well. But that's kind of it for like stat boosting. So again, it's not terrible. And irritatingly better than I thought it would be. I do feel like, given it's supposed to be bulky and offensive, it maybe could do with a little bit more to support the bulkiness. Like, bulk up is good.
Yeah.
You know, work up is also good. It has Scary Face and Swagger to debuff. But I think clearly what it's supposed to do is take hits and hit back. And in fairness, it does that very well.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, I can't really argue with that. It's got a surprisingly diverse move pool. Again, this is the expanded TM list from Gen 8. But you know, we've got Fire, Steel, Fighting, Dark, Dragon, Bug, Ground. No Rock type moves, strangely. Ghost. You know, Electric.
Yeah, to be fair, those are all the bases that have kind of been covered before, with the exception of Dragon.
Yeah, so there's 9 different types there that are covered, which is, you know, it gives you a lot of room for variety.
But
it could do, again, I think to be an S tier, I would say it could do with some more things to restore its health or to back up its bulk.
Stat-wise and build-wise, I can see why you would use Incineroar and how much you could, like, really build for it. But honestly, the vibes are so off with this thing.
I mean, yeah, I do hate its design passionately, and I hate that its special move and its Z move come from its crotch.
I think I want to put it in B tier. Like, I can't with any good conscience put it lower like I want to.
Yeah, I know.
But like it goes in B tier, and it should thank its lucky stars that it has such good technical ability, because otherwise I'd have fucking slam dunked this to the floor.
See, this is where I'm like, although I hate the design, and I do, and I hate it primarily because it attacks things with its crotch, which is not a joke. That is a thing that it does.
This is 100% furry bait. Like I said, don't search Delphox. Really don't search Incineroar. This is just blatant furry bait.
Yeah. But I do think that mechanically and without our bias about its design, although design is important.
See, design is important, and it is informing all of this.
Yeah. But I do feel like mechanically it does. I think it would be an A tier.
See, I think
and
mechanically,
I hate saying that.
That's the thing. Mechanically, I could reasonably put it in A tier, like alongside Infernape, but I feel that it doesn't necessarily do what it's trying to do. It doesn't necessarily, like, they each have their lanes. I feel Infernape does it like slightly.
I suppose, yeah, if I fairness the argument, because Infernape and Charizard are our B tier at the moment, and they both do a thing, but one of their issues is, you know, Charizard kind of specs wrong for its move pool. Infernape is kind of too split between two different things. Incineroar is meant to be bulky and offensive, and it manages offensive but doesn't necessarily cinch bulky. So I guess for that reason I could put it in B.
Again, vibes are off. So
Yeah,
Incineroar,
the vibes are
and
off.
we are literally like we're 2 minutes from where we're supposed to end. We still got 2 more to go, and we're not doing it in
Alright.
60 seconds.
Lightning round.
So Incineroar goes in B tier. Next up, we have random intro. It's Cinderace. Fuck Cinderace. We're putting it in F tier.
Cinderace is god awful.
We're putting Cinderace. It's a footballer. It's a footballer. This is David Beckham if he was a fucking furry rabbit. It sucks. It literally just kicks balls at people. It's the wrong size and it's very much furry bait, and I don't like it. And fuck Cinderace. We're putting it in F tier. Goodbye.
It is really bad.
Go watch our entire rant about why Gen 8 sucks.
Yeah, basically. Also, its hidden ability is just Protean.
Cinderace is also pure fire type.
Yeah,
It's not just
Typhlosion.
Typhlosion.
Pure fire type. Yeah, it's not just Typhlosion.
So Cinderace is Typhlosion if it sucked ass.
Let's be fair.
Okay, fine.
So, immediately before using any move, Pokemon with Libero, this is a bit of a change the type, the same type of the move it's using. Yes. So basically, it's Protean. So it's gonna. We're back to in Gen 8. Cinderace was the favorite.
Yes, Cinderace was
because it got the most bitch and hidden ability, and it's a footballer, and people like football. Apparently.
And football was kind of the center of Gen 8, like the Gen 8 design. It was very football focused. Like the enemies were football hooligans. The gym leaders were kind of all very much dressed like footballers, and all of the gym battles were largely based around football style arenas and that kind of performance.
Yes, and Cinderace is just like the cheerful bunny rabbit that runs and does things, and was very much the mascot.
Like Scorbunny is cheerful, Cinderace is not.
Yeah, Cinderace is just competitive.
When it comes to the vibes. While everybody's inside having this whole like group dynamic, Cinderace is the one outside in the parking garage, like in the parking yard, just doing keepy uppy.
Yeah.
It's not actually in the gym, it's just outside.
Probably kicks a ball inside the house.
Yeah.
Is the annoying kid from Bend It Like Beckham.
Yes.
Which is a great film, in fairness. Well, yeah, I don't like Cinderace, and here's some factual reasons why. Although it has an okay move, an okay stat spread, 116 attack, 119 speed, both great. Everything else is pants. 80 health, 75 defense, 75 special defense. It's just the below average kind of lane. Move pool wise, it has its own unique move, which is 120 power and 90 accuracy, called Pyro Ball, which is redonkulous.
Better than Rillaboom's.
Yeah, but then apart from that, its good moves are Headbutt, Bounce, and Double Edge.
Fuck off, really?
Yup, it's crap. Also, what the hell is this? Its final move is it has a second. Oh my god! Just like all favorites, it has a second signature move, and called Court Change. Causes an active effect. Causes any active battle effects to swap sides. So Tailwind, entry hazards like spikes. So that feels kind of situational, in that there's not loads of stuff that affects, but equally well, you know.
Well, here's the thing: on any other Pokemon, that would have been a competitive goddamn game changer.
Yeah, but you would need to put it on a bulky wall.
Yeah,
that is not what Cinderace is.
It is not. Because imagine if I put that up against your little Glamora team.
Shh, be dead.
Yeah, it would fuck you right up.
It would fuck me right up, except when I killed your Cinderace in the first turn.
Exactly. But
yeah.
not Tauros.
Right, you want to hear? Well, Cinderace is also available in Gen 9.
Yes, that's already been a Terra Raid.
So, and we expand the move pool a little bit in that we get Acrobatics, we get Trailblaze, we get Zen Headbutt, which is exciting.
It's really something.
Gunk Shot for some reason. But that's it.
That's the moment where the footballer spits in the ref's eye, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's like it gets Gunk Shot and Iron Head, but it's like it's Gunk Shot and it doesn't get Poison Jab, which is really dumb. And it gets Iron Head, which is pretty cool.
And Gunk Shot is a pretty solid move.
It's like it's Electro Ball.
That makes perfect sense.
It does, but also it's not a special attacker.
Nope.
At all. Its special attack is 65.
Jesus.
I know. You can breed in High Jump Kick and Sucker Punch, which are both good. And that's it. It is.
I've also just realised that in this image, I know it's supposed to have just kicked a football, but it very much looks like it's goose stepping.
It really does.
So, has anybody complained about me putting the Nazi bunny anywhere but E or F, anywhere but F tier? Because frankly, the move pool sucks, as we've just pointed out. It really doesn't have the coverage of anything.
Yeah.
Sod these vibes, sod your design, and get back in the dumpster where you belong.
Who's in D at the moment again?
There isn't anyone. Oh, it's Delphox.
Yeah, I definitely think that it's not as good as Delphox.
Not as good
I
as
think Delphox is a better special sweeper than Cinderace is a physical sweeper. So yeah, E or F.
I'm putting it in F tier because fuck it.
Cool. We hate Cinderace.
Now we move on to our final contestant for the day. Someone that I do not hate. We in fact do not hate.
We do not hate on this channel.
We quite like it a lot. It is basically for the last many generations, as you could maybe tell. Fire types tend to have a little bit of furry bait. They decided to really just completely flip the opposite end of that with my big chunky crocky boy. It's Skeledirge.
Yeah. It's a singing crocodile.
It is a Dia de los Muertos flaming crocodile.
Well, I would also like to point out, that it's Skeledirge is listed as the singer Pokemon.
Yeah.
It's a musical crocodile. That's its whole deal.
This is a musical mariachi crocodile. For Christ's sake, its prior evolution, Crocolore, literally has a sombrero.
With an egg on the top.
Literally has a
hatches
sombrero made of
into
fire.
a fiery chicken. The fire on the end of Skeledirge's nose is a fiery chicken.
Yeah, it's like a living bird. Like, look at that. It's a living bird that turns into a microphone whenever it uses its signature move, Torch Song, which is brilliant.
It is quite good.
Skeledirge is a fire ghost type that, admittedly, when it learns moves is a little bit shonky, but not in like a big deal. It is brilliant. It's really good. It's like a really strong physical attacker, but it's got some chunk to it.
Well, interestingly, and this is where we get to the stats. Skeledirge is a fire ghost.
Yep.
It's 5'3" in length.
Yeah, it's a...
And again, you're talking. So we were talking obviously in the last one about, maybe not being able to handle that tank roll, that bulk roll. Skeledirge, 104 base health, 100 base defense, 75 base special defense. Skeledirge knows where it's at, and then rocks 110 base special attack.
Yeah, Skeledirge is a hench special attacker, and with the capacity to just keep upping that special attack again and again and again and again and again and again. Because today, this very night, I beat the Pokemon League with a Skeledirge, and for one of the Elite Four I was up against, I thought I was going to have to change things up. Like I had a Skeledirge, I had a fighting type, I had somebody who could use a ground type move and some rock types. Nah, man, Skeledirge just stood up and went, nah, fuck all y'all, and swept the entirety of it.
That's pretty good. Right. Interesting thing that I would actually like to bring up, because Skeledirge as a fire ghost type is quite unusual. There's only one prior set of fire ghost types in Pokemon. And I think I would like to put to you that Skeledirge's fire ghost typing is actually the best typing we have had so far.
I would 100%
for a fire starter.
I would 100% agree with you, because the unfortunate thing we've had about a lot of the types so far is that they don't actually synergize that well with each other.
I think like Fire and Psychic did synergize well, but didn't do well for like weaknesses.
Yeah.
Fire and Fighting is more like having is more like having your cake and eating it, because you want the special attack and the physical attack. But this is two special types working together, and although we do have 5 weaknesses, which is not ideal, ground, rock, ghost, water, and dark, we have 7 resistances and 2 immunities.
Yeah, because you're immune to both fighting and normal type moves.
With resistances to poison, bug, steel, fire, grass, ice, and fairy.
Yeah, like Skeledirge has just got some hench to it, man.
And again, that helps with its tank. It wants to tank because it has those resistances and immunities.
Yeah, I mean, it's a fucking crocodile. There exist in this world crocodiles who are bulletproof.
This is true.
Gustav.
Crocodiles are terrifying. All right, you want to hear some moves?
I would love to hear some moves because I'm pretty sure I know a lot of them.
Well, the pre-established Torch Song, which is 80 power, 100 accuracy, and raises your special attack guaranteed.
Solid, because there's only one other move that does that. It's Charge Beam, which has 30 less power.
Yeah, and also isn't guaranteed. It's a 70% chance to up special attack.
Yeah.
Torch Song is grotesque.
Yeah, and Charge Beam also is learned by very few people.
Yeah, it's mostly taught by TM. What we've also got is we're also looking at Snarl, which is great.
Yep, that's what mine currently knows.
Flamethrower, Shadow Ball,
yep, mine knows
Hyper Voice.
Yep, mine knows Hyper Voice, Torch Song, Snarl, and Shadow Ball.
We've also got Fire Blast and Overheat if you want the big guns. We also have Will-O-Wisp and Hex.
Yeah, that's a strong fucking combo.
That is a strong combo. So it's all over. It's all over pretty solid.
Yeah.
Moving to TMs, the TM spread isn't great, I'm not going to lie, because we're looking again, lots of physical moves, so Fire Fang, Thunder Fang, Takedown, Flame Charge. I mean, we've got Disarming Voice for a fairy move that never misses, which is good. Dig Zen, Headbutt, Shadow Claw, Body Slam, Siege Bomb and Stomping Tantrum, which would have been great.
Yeah.
Crunch, Shadow Ball, Hyper Voice, Heat Wave, which is not to be sneezed at. Earth Power,
which is great,
beautiful. Blast Burn, Outrage, which again could have been helpful.
Yeah.
Solar Beam, which is obviously the good fallback of
all
the fire types.
All of them have learned Solar Beam so far.
Just about. Interestingly, because one of my issues with Skeledirge would be its lack of things to back up its. In the same with Incineroar, issues with backing up its bulking. Actually, Skeledirge gets that in its egg moves. Not ideal, but because you can breed in Curse and Slack Off.
Both of which are really fucking solid. Like,
yep.
Curse, Slack Off, and Torch Song would be a pretty solid combo if you manage to get it going, because that, like...
My issue is that Curse is about physical attack and physical defense, which is not perfect.
It's not perfect, but you can make up with that with Torch Song.
Yeah.
With its guaranteed increase. Being able to boost its defensive stats is kind of more important than having Slack Off to bring it back up to speed.
That is fair. I just wish it learned Calm Mind.
Yes, because if this thing learned Calm Mind, it'd be fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
Not that it is.
Yeah,
already.
so it's. I would say Skeledirge. I would say Skeledirge is at least as good as Incineroar, and I think therefore possibly better. So I would put it in A.
I think Skeledirge deserves an A tier. It's got a solid design. It's got for the move pool, which is not necessarily as expansive as it could be, it makes good use of it, and it does have a power that it can make a lot of use of. Yes,
and that unique move is gross.
Yeah, which I think is true for all 3 of the Gen 9 starters, but most true for Meowscarada, because what the fuck?
Yeah, Meowscarada is disgusting.
Yeah, so I think that puts Skeledirge up in A tier. That puts our Crocky boy up there.
I think so.
Yeah. And that, of course, brings us to the end of the tier list. We are 12 minutes over time. Sorry, everybody, for keeping you out of your beds. But thank you for joining us and listening to us complain about Bernie Fantasy Monsters.
Exactly.
We'll do the
Not
soggy ones
everything
next.
Yeah, we'll do the wet ones now.
We'll do the wet ones next and prepare for. Oh my god, so much shouting for that.
So much.
I am fully prepared that one's going to be kinda nuts.
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you for joining us. You can follow me on Twitter at JonathanHoney4. You can follow my games company, All Lights Games, at all_games. You can follow me on Patreon at JonathanDavidHoney. You can find all of my writing and my reviews, one of which came out today for a little game called Neon Abyss. You can find all of that on JonathanDavidHoney.com. Yes, I got the .com. I'm that fancy. You can find Chris on Instagram at ChrisHoneyActor, where he's doing some really interesting stuff with some amateur dramatics company. He's doing some fun shit there. And as always, you can find this stream and all of our previous ones at The Brothers Honey on YouTube. Because I'll be putting this up tomorrow morning because I wake up early and don't have a life.
That's entirely reasonable.
So, well, hey, I'm glad everybody who's here enjoyed themselves. I hope you enjoyed it. Fuck, I hope you enjoyed yourselves. Because I had a good time. We had a lovely time. So yeah, thanks for joining us. Fuck Cinderace and goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.